Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new and you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. I am so happy to have you. I would love it if you'll become part of the family by clicking the red subscribe button and then tapping the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. If you enjoyed this video, if you could please give me a big thumbs up. Those thumbs up really help my channel out. And if you think someone you love would enjoy this video, I encourage you to share it. And for today I have this super cute star garland and a fresh Christmas arrangement. So with all that being said, let's jump right into today's DIYs. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without. Okay, so to start off, you can use rulers from Dollar Tree. I was going to use those, but mine were all messed up. So I did have these large stir sticks that I had got from Home Depot. They're only 98 cents for 3, and they're really thick and good quality. Plus, they smell just like pine, so they're perfect for this project. So I also have a foam block. And I just lay out my stir sticks and then mark where I want my box to be. So I wanted my box to be a little bit bigger than the foam piece. So I just measure out the side pieces and I measure out the front. And then you just need 2 pieces for each side. Just took a little branch off of the greenery that I was using. My sweet husband went outside. We have a bunch of these trees in our backyard. So he went outside and cut a bunch for me because he knew that I wanted to make an arrangement with them. So I just held it up to my green paint, and this green paint is Kelly Green from Walmart. It's apple barrel, and I just painted my foam piece. That way you can't see that it's white through your box. So after I painted my foam block, I just sanded down my pieces and I cut my pieces. I have a little tiny saw and it's linked down in the description box if you would like to get one, but it's really nice to have. So I then just had these leftover ends of popsicle sticks from a different project. I put some E6000 on each end with a little bit of hot glue, and I put 3 for the longer sides and then 2 for the shorter side. And to ensure that they're even, I just take my next side and I line it up with the one that I already did and then glue it down, glue the ends of the popsicle sticks down, just so that way that they're all even and they're all the same size. So to put this together, I just took one of the long sides, I put E6000 and hot glue again, and then I just stood it up and I held one of the side pieces up to where I glued. So once I have both of the side pieces on, I then just glue both ends of the last longer piece, and then I just put that together right like you see it. Sorry guys, I know I'm not explaining it right, but you can see what I'm doing. Next, I am going to make the bottom. So I just get a large popsicle stick, and you can use small popsicle sticks for this. It doesn't really matter. You would just need more. So I just measure where it's going to be, and I cut both ends off. That way it's straight. If they're rounded, they're not going to sit right. So I just measure it. I cut, I believe it was 6 pieces, and then I glue them all down. In the end, I did have to cut a popsicle stick in half just because there was a bit of a gap on the end, but no big deal. So I just secure them down with some hot glue, and you don't need to put them side by side, but you can. It just saves you a couple popsicle sticks by leaving just a small gap in between. Next, I just take my white Waverly chalk paint and I give the entire box a really good coat. I only needed 1 coat. Obviously, it's your preference if you want to do a few coats or if you want to stain this or paint it a different color. But I wanted to paint it white because I just wanted it to pop and we've got a lot of greenery and red and Christmas colors, so I just wanted my box to stand out. Next, I just take my wax, Waverly antique wax, and my natural bristle brush that I got these in a pack of 8 at Walmart, and I just dry brush the wax on there. At first I focus on the edges. I just really like the way this looks, and then I go in the middle and dry brush. And again, this is your preference. You can not do the dry brushing, you can do more. It's totally up to you. I then flip it around and I do the top edge just in case any of that is showing. Next, I put my foam piece in my box. I did not glue it down just because I don't think it's necessary, but you can if you want. So then I just cut a bunch of the greenery off the branches. They were really, really big branches, and I just cut them down to be more manageable. And then I just started in the back. Some people like go all around, but I do kind of like layer by layer, especially because these branches are pretty prickly, and so I don't want to be sticking my hand down in between to stick them in the foam. So I just work from the back on up, if that makes sense. I also put real berries in there. These were holly leaves. I was going to put some holly leaves in there, but it didn't look right, so I just cut all the holly leaves off, left the berries, and then stuck the berries randomly inside. I then had these picks from Dollar Tree, and they had some pine cones and cotton stems on them, so I just cut a bunch off, and then I just go ahead and I put you at a different angle so you could see what I'm doing, but I just go ahead and stick them in randomly. Again, it's your preference, and you can decorate this however you like. This would look really good with a few ornaments on it, or I don't know if you've ever seen those grapevine balls, but those would look really cute in here. But I just wanted to keep mine kind of neutral, and I really like the way that it turned out, and I'm really glad that I just stuck with the berries, the greenery, the pine cones, and the cotton. So next I am going to show you how I just do a quick, easy, and simple ribbon. I'm sure you've seen this a million times, but I get a lot of questions on my bows, and so I just wanted to show how I do it. So I just fold it over 3 times on itself. I then cut a piece that is longer than it, and then you just take twine. This is baker's twine, and it's just what I had within my reach, so I just utilized it because it goes with the Christmas theme anyway. And you just tie it. You want to make sure after you tie the first knot, flip it over, make sure it's in the right spot and it's even, and then you can go ahead and do your second knot. You then just want to fluff up your ribbon and pull the tails down or leave them to the side. It's totally up to you, and then just ducktail the ends. Now, I ended up going with this other ribbon just because I have a big bow on my Christmas tree and I wanted it to match, and you couldn't really see what the truck was. By the way, I got that last ribbon with the truck from Dollar General. It was $2 for a roll, which is a really good deal. But anyway, I have this ribbon on my tree, and again, I just wanted it to match. So I did switch it up to this bow, and I also didn't put tails on it just because this box is fairly short, so the tails, you would have to cut most of it off anyway. Next, I just go ahead and glue down my ribbon. Make sure you hold this until it is dry because sometimes they will pop right off. Fluff it up while you're holding it, and there you go. You have an awesome, fresh, beautiful Christmas arrangement. I am so happy I did this. I love this smell, and it turned out really great. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next, for our star garland, I have this cardstock. Now, I'm going to tell you, from the get-go. I don't recommend cardstock unless you have much thinner cardstock, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason is because these stars have a lot of folds, and they're really hard to fold with cardstock. But anyway, you want to get perfect squares, so I just use my paper cutter and I cut a bunch of different sizes, and I'll leave the sizes in the description box below. So to do your star, your 3D star, you just want to fold your square in half. You then take your right top corner, if you're right-handed, when you're looking at it, the opening will be at the bottom. So you take the right top corner and you fold it to a third of the corner, third of the way up. Excuse me. You can see what I'm doing here. You then flip it around and there's like a triangle, and you just want to fold that triangle onto the other triangle you just made. So now you'll have two triangles side by side, the longer fold and the fold you just did. You then flip that over again, and you take the triangle and fold it over onto itself. I know that probably doesn't make much sense. I did not speed up this part, so if you need to go back and rewatch it a few times, just rewind it and watch it until you get it. Once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. It's only like 5 folds, I believe. And once you get the hang of it, it's like second nature. So after you have it all folded up, you have the smaller triangle to your right, and you just want to cut up on an angle. Now, if you want a more pointier star, you just want to go more to the top, and if you want a thicker star, then you want to cut more towards the bottom. And so here I'm just cutting off the edges because this cardstock, again, was really hard to fold, so it wasn't completely perfect. Just use printer paper. It'll be easier on you. Your star will come out much more even, and it'll just be better all the way around. So after you have your star cut, you just want to fold these in the right direction. Because you folded it a bunch of different ways to get it to be into a star, they're not all going to be in the right direction. So the middle pieces should be pointing inward, and then the star end pieces should be pointing to the top. So I just go ahead and retrain this paper to be pointing in the right direction. And I like to just get them in the right direction, and then I just fold them on top, on top of each other. And you can see what I'm doing here. I'm a much better teacher than I am an explainer. Anyway, next I just took a 1/16 drill bit, and I just stick it in the edges and just go back and forth just to make really small holes. That way your stars won't slide all over your fishing string. Next, I just take fishing string and I go so I flip my star around so that I'm looking at the back, and then I fish it through the front. We got a little hand there helping us, and so I fish it through the front, and then I go in through the back. And you could also make more and make these really 3D and glue them onto each other, and then that way you won't even see the back. But with mine, you're not going to see the back, so that's why I didn't do that. But if you would like to do that, then that's up to you. So I just string them all on my fishing string. I get them evenly to where I like. I cut my string, and then I go ahead and make a simple loop on the end. I just loop it, twist it around my fingers, and then pull it through, and then that makes the loop to be able to hang it like garland. I then take my matte Mod Podge, I stick it in a paint dish, and then I put some of the Mod Podge in the section right next to it. I have this glitter from Dollar Tree. It's a gold, and then I also have a iridescent glitter that I had left over from a different project. So I stick the gold in the left side and then the iridescent in the right, and then I just mix it up really good. If you want to add more glitter or different colors, it's your preference, but I thought that these two would look really good together, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So I then just take a popsicle stick and stir it up. After I have it stirred up, I have two different brushes, and I start with the iridescent, and I just paint every other one. And I had a bit left over once I got to the end, so I just went ahead and repainted a few of them. You can't really tell, but I just didn't want to waste it. So you want to make sure that you get in the edges, and the top point is kind of hard to get to, so I just kind of like dabbed my brush on the point so that way the glitter can be dispersed evenly. And after I have the iridescent painted on, I then go ahead with my different brush and I paint the gold stars. Now, once these are dry, you will have to wiggle your fishing string just to get it even more evenly once you're doing it. They do, like I had to fix mine, so don't pull it, it will rip your paper, but I just kind of wiggled it and it came loose so I could make them even. So after I have them painted, I just go ahead and kind of fluff them up. And that is it, you guys. Let me know in the comments down below which project was your favorite. I was really excited to put this video together for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video with your family or friends if you think they would enjoy it. And until next time, guys. Bye. Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.